Hey fellow skeptics, Lester the Skeptic Tank here. I'm going to do a quick unboxing. I did get a notification like some days ago, maybe last week. I looked at the email and said this and this. You're getting a shipment on its way. I'm thinking, from where? But turns out this email I got sure explains what happens when you have a semblance of earning power or purchasing power, that I lost sight of what I actually ordered. And I did a video on the purchase. So uh, this is what came in. I was thinking, whatever comes from that, I don't know who this is from, because it was a different name than I expected. So real quickly, this was the pair of Vibrams on markdown. Normally, you wouldn't find Vibrams for less than $80 now. You'd probably expect it to find it more than $80 nowadays. So, not sure about the color scheme personally. You know, these aren't exactly my first choice, but I couldn't pass up the markdown. I don't know if I want to go into the first fittings, because not every Vibram is crafted the same exact way. Not a slam on the company, but if they are like other companies I know, they may have other factories or other places where they put these together. Not every factory is going to do it the same way. Hang on a moment here. Looks like Mr. H's reviews is or the H-cast as it's called. It's on its way. So I'm going to pause it for the moment. I'll probably get back to that, but I'm going to do the left foot fittings. I know I've done some retrospectives or some reviews on the Zero shoes I recently acquired, testing them with socks, without socks, and dealing with the realities of my feet being small yet wide. And the funnier thing is, I may have forgotten to disclose this, but my right foot seems to be more narrow than my left foot. So things that tend to be a little looser on the right foot. I still don't know what the meaning of this little flap. I end up trying to remove it. And experience has shown I just gotta do what I can to yank it, but I don't know. I don't know why they would attach it in this way. I just think it does something to the fabric over long term. So I'm going to see if I can yank it. There it goes. I just feel like I'm going to rip the shoe apart. It's been a while since I gotten a pair of these. I don't know what the point of it is. Someone can feel free to enlighten me. Or what? You're kind of seeing this business here. I'm like, what? What's the point of even having this? At least they could have put it in a different spot, or they could have put it in the box. The universal minimal training tool. But like I mentioned with my Zero shoes, the reason why I'm gravitating away from using these on the road is trying to reconcile the training I've done over the years, not just with what you might call martial arts, but in my medical training, my pew training. You want something that'll be conducive to the everyday. So I'm going to see if... Yep, I think I'm just going to try to find this scissors or something to pull this out. Still not sure what the... Oh, there it goes. But see, you end up with this business right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you end up with this business, right? And yeah, I could take it out if I want, but it almost seems pointless. And you people will get concerned about yanking some part of the shoe out. I'm trying to see if the left foot is the same way. Excuse me. See, at least the other shoe doesn't have that. So, let's see. First fittings. Because some of, like I said, with the different with the different factories or however they do it, not every place will have multiple factories, but I would be surprised if they have multiple factories. No. And every factory will be different. Having been in the .com and hearing the discussions internally about this and that, they have a reputation for this and that in terms of devices being put together at a factory. Some are good for this, some are bad for that, and so on. Well, I can say right away, I'm not going to have that Cinderella type sensation with like the, you know, how the stepsisters try to fit in the shoe. I don't think I'm going to get any of that with these because I can tell right away this is a pretty good, pretty solid. I can easily slip them on. I can slip them on just fine. At least this is for the right foot. And I would imagine these should be almost the same way on my left foot. So I'm going to do that. And these are like the bona fide. I'm going to keep these relegated to possibly indoor house shoes, or I don't know how else I'm going to want to limit them, given that I might, well, I guess if I do these in the gym, if I wear these in the gym, I don't know. I'm just surprised I'm probably more surprised at the Quicksilver flip-flops my parents bought me back in the day. And I'm saying that I forget exactly how long ago they bought it for me, but they're still kicking. The stuff in the flip-flop is still intact, and like I said, not bad. It's not like my red ones. The big thing about the red ones is not only did they have a higher sticker price compared to the American shoes because they came from Great Britain, but the fitting, again, it just comes down to how the shoes are made at a given factory. So I can say right away these shoes I can easily put on. Just like the gray ones I have, the black ones I have, the red ones, they just had that moment where I had to really shove my foot into the shoe and stretch the fabric out. Technically, they shouldn't be that I don't want to use the word inconsistent, but you can. You can, because you would think they're the same model. The fabric should be more or less the same. You shouldn't be running into a situation where you got to really force your foot in there. And I may not care for the color scheme, but you know, it's kind of growing on me already to a degree, especially if I am going to keep this to indoor. You know, on occasion I may wear these outdoors. You know, I have to have a very specific purpose, but like in terms of what they call everyday or EDC. Now for the shoes, it's a different deal. But because of certain movements I might require on my feet in terms of certain situations, like I mentioned about the fabric possibly tearing, and of course having to be mindful of my toenails. Got to clip those more often than one may be accustomed, just so that you don't run the risk of cutting into the fabric. I don't have to worry too much about my feet movement if I'm going to do some pivot style movements. But yeah, that's one unboxing. Okay, and then I'm going to, this is the other one. I have another item. Well, this one, this is Demolition Man, and I gotta tip the hat to Valiant Renegade because he is the one who told me how prophetic it was during a member stream of his. So I'm gonna watch this again with my age senses, just like I watched the first Mission Impossible. I remember watching this I don't think I watched it in the theaters. I think when we were big into movie rentals, we were checking out videos at the local warehouse or the local Blockbuster. Speaking of that, For those who are watching this and are in the Oregon area, maybe the greater Portland area, just so you guys know, they're going to have the Retro Gaming Expo again this year. It's going to be going on not this Friday, but the next Friday up until Sunday. It is probably the best attraction for the money because it's one that uses the entire convention center in my mind, and you have a lot of stuff you can have fun with. Whether it's the retro machines, the arcades, the swag, the games you can buy, and so on. It's an event, and yes, I understand I know the ice cream is very overpriced, but it's still good in my mind. One more thing. I didn't expect this to be well, I suppose because I got the other version of it. So let's see if I can just rip it out. Okay. So, here it is. I have one more item to unbox or two. I think my Amazon delivery came in yesterday. I'll unbox that later. But this one is a book that got me on the whole paleo ancestral health train, and I got to get back onto it as often as I admit it. But this is what got me down the whole barefoot thing. At least this particular book. And yes, I knew of the Paleo Solution by Rob Wolf. I will get a copy of that at some point. It's just that, not that there was a cult of personality surrounding this author. He's a cool guy. Both the guys are cool. It's just, that's who I started with. This is who I started with. And I still loosely follow guys like Chris Kresser in that specific community and space. So I am very happy to finally get a physical copy because before you know it, but the amount of money you would spend on getting a copy of this book or any other book on different e-readers, you might as well gotten your own copy. And you never know with a lot of these digital marketplaces or digitally driven licensing and activation, things can always happen on the back end, and either A, that item is gone from it, 2, the way you're entitled to use that content, again, key difference between entitled to use versus entitled to own. So physical media ensures that you actually own the product in question. Not only that, I think I mentioned that if you find yourself in a pickle, in a jam, as much as I don't want to part with this, I can sell it back. If I absolutely had to. It still has some sense of currency. Whereas with digital, how are you going to hand it off to the next person? Are you going to, would you even feel good in your conscience that you're going to sell a digital good? It just doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't have that same impression. Here you go, here's my digital whatever. Unless it's, I would only say if it's what you call crypto? Yeah, unless it's crypto, I suppose. But nothing like good, whole, cold and hard, cold copy of a book. Or even this. Yeah, I got this off of Amazon, and yeah, I probably could have found it in Value Village, but to my shock, when I went to Value Village yesterday or the other day, little to no Blu-rays in the shelves. But hey, it was bound to sell out at some point. Alright, well, that's just my quick unboxing and my quick soapboxing in terms of all that stuff. Thank you again for your time, fellow skeptics, and until the next video, peace out, and I'll catch you on the other side.